Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today I wanted to share with you all of the products, or at least the products that I can remember that I have hit pan on. So this is actually a video that I've seen going around a ton recently and I thought that it would be a lot of fun to do my own. It was also kind of neat getting the products pulled together for this because everything that I'm going to show you, with the exception of I think just one product, has pan in it as a result of project panning through one form or another. And I think that's really awesome because it really highlights the power of the projects and what they've done for my collection. So I thought that was super interesting. So if that's something that you think is super interesting, then go ahead and stay tuned because we're going to talk about it right now. So the majority of what I have pan in is eyeshadow, and that is from the Pan Those Eyeshadows Project Pan. So let's go ahead and start with those because they are the most numerous. So we have from Tarte, this is my, what is this technically called? Young, Wild, and Free palette. So this shade was used up entirely, so it's empty. And then I've also got a good bit of pan going here in Party. So this was in my very first project pan, which was in 2018. It was finish 18 and 18. And I failed miserably at that project. But that is the Pan That palette that I chose for that year. So this was just a matte cream shade, super easy, and then Party is what I've been using as an inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight. So it is currently in my graveyard project pan, so hopefully that will actually be an empty by the end of the year. I also have my Tarte Origami palette. This is currently in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. But what I'm going to show you is actually a shade from a different round of this project. So I did hit pan in Festival right here, which is just this really beautiful lid shade. I don't know how well you can see it because it's super metallic, but it's right up here in the top sort of corner. Hopefully the light is catching it enough. So I do have pan in that guy right there. If you saw my last update from my Pan Those Eyeshadows, then this is a familiar friend. This is my NYX Love in Paris, and I've got pan in this shadow right here, a good bit of pan actually. My BH Cosmetics Illusion palette, I have pan in this shade right here. From last year, I have a couple of pans here in my original, it's my Ray Ray palette. I stinking love this thing. I really fell even more in love with it while I had a couple of shades in here. I actually had a total of 3 shades in here. I only hit pan on 2. So this one right here in Fairy Tale is really, really easy to see. And then over here in Spice, we have some pan going on there. I had Sunset at the very end of the project and I did not make really any progress there. It's a really bright, fiery tomato red and it just did not go with my day-to-day work life. In my ABH Master by Mario palette, which is honestly one of my very favorite palettes, I do have a good bit of pan here in Marina. From my original Urban Decay Naked palette, we have pan in the shade Naked. Just a little sliver, but pan is pan, my friends. This one's super, super reflective, so I apologize in advance. This is my Bare Minerals Hidden Treasure palette, and I do have pan in Nude Beach. This was one that I hit pan in last year as well. Also from last year, one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection. This is my Marc Jacobs The Wild One palette. I absolutely adore this palette. So I have pan in this first shade right here. It's just a matte cream shade. I had also been working on this shade right here last year, but didn't quite make pan in it. This is just such a fantastic, fantastic palette. It was limited edition. It was a holiday palette a few years ago, but it's just so good. It's just so good. From this year, I have my Salvaje palette. Also, another matte colored lid setting shade. I promise these are all randomly generated shades. I've had 1, 2, and I'm working on a third one already. So kind of lame and boring, but whatever. And then finally, my unofficial Pan That palette from last year. This is my Lorac Mega Pro 4. So I did actually finish off one shade last year, this one right here in Pink Peony. And then I've got all kinds of pan going on here. Cool Taupe, in Butterscotch, in Mahogany, down here in Plum, and then over here in Unicorn. Let's see if, there we go. So I do actually keep this on my desk and pull from it every so often because why not? I've already got so much progress in here. I might as well, you know, continue to dip into it periodically. So those are all of the eyeshadows that I have pan in. Now, while it is really gratifying to see all of that pan, see all those? That's not even all of them. I also have more down here in this shelf that you can't see. I've got more over here in this drawer that you can't see. I've got some more on my desk. I have some more in a drawer in the hallway. I've got a lot of eyeshadow. A lot of eyeshadow. So I have not gone through and actually calculated my pan percentage because I feel like it probably wouldn't even be 1%, and that's really demoralizing in a way. So it feels good to show you all of this pan, but the reality is I got a long way to go. A long way to go. But it's still fun to celebrate our successes, right? So I do also have some pan in some other types of palettes. So the only thing that I've really hit pan on organically, meaning that it wasn't in a project, is my Maybelline Fit Me powder. I am in the shade 110 Porcelain. Got a whole bunch of pan here. I'll finish it off at some point. Just I've got powders that I am working on in other projects, so that's why it's gone untouched. But that's the only true organic pan. I do also have pan in my very first bronzer that I ever purchased. This is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I absolutely adore this bronzer. For me, this is such a great color for me and my skin tone. It's a very neutral sort of shade. I don't personally prefer warm toned bronzers. They pull too orange and it looks weird on my skin. But yep, good amount of pan in that there. And then the rest are highlights. So from, again, my project last year, we have so much pan in the highlighter in my Hourglass Ambient Edit Unlocked. Is that what? Yes, Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. So much pan in that highlighter. That highlighter is amazing. It is so pretty. I also, from last year, I've got pan in my Persona Cosmetics Cali Glow highlighter in the shade Zuma. That right there. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. And then finally, I do also have pan in this little guy right here. This is just a deluxe sample size of the Becca highlighter in the shade Opal. I've got tons of pan in there. This was also in my 18 by 2018, no, 18 in 28, I don't remember what it was, but the first project pan that I ever did, that is how I got the pan in this guy here. So that's everything that I currently have pan in. I do want to do these sort of videos periodically, but I have to be hitting pan in things in order to make it worthwhile, right? Because I'm not going to make a video that's going to show all of these products again because you've already seen it. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, welcome. I'd love it if you would subscribe. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.